Wow, this is quite the song. Um, this is Ti Amo by Laura Branigan. And when I hear the song, it makes me think of um, the guy I went out with for a long time in high school. And right from the beginning, people were trying to wreck it. You know, I was here and he's younger than me. I'm like, he's less than a year younger than me. And they were telling him bad things about me. And we didn't care. And he knew that, my household was crazy sometimes, And, but we stayed together for over a year and we were the real deal. We really loved each other. And it was so passionate. It was like, um, it was incredible. It really was. It was such incredible passion, and it was just based on, passion. It wasn't based on did he have money or did she have money. I really thought we were gonna go on and on forever, and I was heartbroken I cried for years, years and years and years, and I don't think he ever knew that. I never told him that, but I did. Um, this song is it speaks to near the end of our relationship. After my father left, um, I guess I started venting, like, you know, because I couldn't speak for so long about what he did to me, my father, because I was too scared to. And I was, an only child, so I didn't have anybody there to, talk to about it and stuff. So I started pushing him away, and I didn't even know why. I would just freak out, and I would just push him away. And I just felt like they had me. They didn't teach me life coping skills, and I needed some counseling and stuff. But for the most part, I treated him very well. With moments that I just pushed him away and broke off with him for no reason. I really blew it with him because he was an incredible guy. He was just we just loved being together. And it wasn't just me for him. We just were really in love with each other. And I think if we met when we were older, we probably would have got married and had a lot of kids together, because we were always making out, and uh, he's just such a special person. And of course, when you break up, people want you to feel better, so they say, "Oh, I heard he turned into an asshole." I said, "Don't say that to me, because I know his heart. I know him, and he's not. He's a good person." With an amazing family. His family, they were all so nice to me. He was Italian, and you know, and they welcomed me like as if I was Italian, and his mom used to always ask for a picture of me to send back to Italy, and I didn't really think of myself as this really like a knockout, but I look back and you know, and I was, and but uh, I don't know. She was the best cook ever. I still remember her cooking, and she could cook like no other person could cook Italian food ever in any restaurant or that I've had in the future. So, you know, I haven't seen him in over 25 years, and it's hard to believe how time flies. You know, and I uh, I don't know. I'm, I may not ever see him again. I'm going to be going to Montreal next year, 2014, for a couple of weeks. That's the plan. And I don't know if I'm going to see him, And I don't know, you know what? I've never seen him with another girl. I've heard he had this other girlfriend after a while after we broke up, as I started dating after. But it was never the same. And so I've never seen him hold another girl's hand. I've never seen him kiss anybody. I don't know if I would freak out. Can you imagine? Can you imagine? Like, can you just imagine? Oh my gosh. Can you imagine if I seen him, because he's married now, right? Imagine if I saw him with his wife and he kissed his wife and I flipped out. Oh my god, he'd be like, "You're crazy." And I'd be like, "I know. Like, I thought about this the other day. I get anxiety. Can you tell I'm starting to get a little bit like I thought, what if I go back to Montreal and I have this like fundraising dance? They come out and like they're holding hands and he kisses her, and I freak out. people are gonna say you're crazy, and I'm like, I'll be so humiliated, but I'll probably still freak out. I'm like, I am crazy. You shouldn't do that, because like we should have been married. We should have had the family together. I thought we were gonna go on and on. I didn't know. It's like the song says. Like I just didn't know that I was losing him. If I knew that I was losing him, that might have been the light bulb that went on to say, you know what, you really need to stop like pushing him away and wanting him to come back to you and showing you just this, because he always showed me he loved me. He never ever disrespected me. Like he never talked bad. He never called me a name. He never put his hands on me. He always treated me nice. We were always together. Like you see one, you saw the other. We'd go all right. We'd double ride on the bike and pick me up from work. And he was just an incredible guy from an incredible family. And uh, you know, it's I don't know, it's a little emotional when I talk about it. I don't even know why. But I just it's like the song says, like I just loved him so much. I really loved him a lot. So much. Uh, and so I hope if I run into him that I'm like not emotional. Because you know, I wouldn't even know what to say to him after 25 years, and you know, but except that I wish I knew, like, that he was thinking about not coming back if I pushed him away again. I thought about it briefly, you know, um, but, you know, it was so incredible between us that I just never, ever really believed that that would happen, you know. But, um, I don't know, that's what I'm thinking when I hear the song. I don't know if you guys have this song that just, you know, makes you think of that, passion and that, like, person. And you could be just sitting beside each other and you could be happy. Sometimes we used to just sit beside each other and he was, just a second. Sometimes, like, he used to play hockey, um, and, if I recall, he was the captain of the hockey team. And, after he'd come over and sometimes he would be over at my place all the time, my house all the time, and we would just sit on the couch and he would watch the hockey game in the evening. And I always loved listening to music. I think it just calmed me from the stress. I have something in my eye. Calmed me from the stress of it all. And so I would have the radio, like my little ghetto blaster there. And I think it used to annoy him, but he would just tolerate it. And he'd watch the hockey game, and I used to make him food, and I could barely cook. I mean, can you imagine me making him some spaghetti? The way his mother was from Italy, right? His mother would make food from scratch, like pasta from scratch, and here I am with my Catelli meat sauce, you know, that I've had Italian friends say don't ever buy Catelli, like they they would sooner like chop my head off than eat that stuff. And I would make them apple turnovers. I have those on occasion actually. But and oh, it was just we used to go out to eat Chinese food together. And we go to the oratory. We'd go to do confession, and him and I used to have to say like one Hail Mary each, and then we had a friend and she had to say 20 each. I'm like, oh, what did you do? Um, and she told me later, and I'm never gonna repeat it. And that's it. That's never happened. And it wasn't murder, in case anybody you were wondering about that. Um, so I did. I thought we had something strong and something incredible and uh, almost like mystical. like dream like that. It was just gonna just go on and on. We were just gonna, you know, um, I really did wish that he had stayed. It's just like the song says, because I cried over him for so many years. Oh my gosh. Cried and cried and cried. I was so sad. I was so heartbroken, And, I ended up going to Toronto, and I had met this other guy, and then, you know, I was seeing him a little bit, and then it was like, no, you know, he just showed up in Montreal, and I was like, holy smokes. And then I ended up um, meeting the kid's dad that I knew shortly after that, like, within a couple of months, I don't know about a couple of months, maybe, a couple of months I was probably not going to work out, and then I broke off with him, and then, he took, just kept, like, at me, and I was like, oh, okay, and I was like, there was nobody else kind of around, so to speak, and then I wasn't even with him when I found out I was pregnant. I was pregnant, and I had already broken off with him, and I was ready to move on because I wasn't in love with him. And then I found I was pregnant, and then I wanted to do the right thing, and I don't believe in abortion. So then I, you know, had a baby with this guy, and we tried to make it work, and a few years later we had another one, but he knew I was never in love with him. He just knew it, and he was right. And anyway, that was kind of some of my story. I don't know what you guys' story is, but that's how it went down. And so, you know, I, it's just like, wow, just going back to Montreal. Like, when I was in Montreal, I was like, you know, in amazing shape, and just like, wow, you know. But I'm different in senses, like, I used to party a lot with my friends when I'm younger, and I don't do that anymore. I don't even smoke cigarettes anymore. I don't gamble. I don't do drugs. I uh, have drinks like a couple of times a year. I'm just, you know, I'm really like a quiet being. I keep a lot to myself and try to help some people, and start businesses, and but so I don't know. I think I'm just trying to get this like off my chest, so to speak, because I am a little bit like, wow, what if I don't know how I'm gonna feel when I see him. Because sometimes we would just see each other and we would just gravitate towards each other. Like about a year or two, I want to say, after we broke up, um, my friend was over and she called this guy and he happened to be there. I mean, what's the chances of that happening, right? Um, I was in another room and she's like, oh, I'm just gonna make a phone call. And then she said, Joanne, Rocco's there. I shouldn't even said his name. Forget I said his name. She said, he's there. And I was like, what? Like, who are you talking to, right? And then, um, we ended up talking, I think we ended up talking I don't know if we talked on the phone, but we ended up, meeting up with them at the park later, and Rocco and I just kind of gravitated toward each other. But I think, you know, I wanted to get back with him then, but he didn't say anything and I didn't say anything, and I don't know if that's Rocco's love language, to stay, because I did all the pursuing for our relationship. I saw him and that was it. It was done deal. I had to have this guy, and but you know, fate had a different course for us. Um, I suppose. I guess it's just as simple as he carried on, and what could I do but just to respect his wishes. And I don't know. So anyway, okay, I'm gonna go eat my chicken because I got chicken in the oven. It's probably burning. Okay, bye.